help me with the questions. Let's see. Can kids stand up and talk to the judge? They've tried. Their guardian ad litem wouldn't let them. In the last case, when my brother-in-law had to go try to get the kids and take them to court, I guess that was to be able to talk to the judge, but the kids are obviously too scared. They thought it was just to 100% flop custody. So again, I could make speculation and say that was their whole plan all along, but I don't know. I have literally no way to know that. I'm not these people. Why won't they allow mom to present evidence? That's a super good question. I don't know enough about the legal system. I just know that when their attorneys have tried, they changed the type of hearing it was, or something like that. Please take everything I say with like understanding my expertise, that I know what's going on in the situation, but I don't know why they can't do certain legal things. Can Ty call and talk to the judge? I think he's tried. I'm not quite sure. I know he's offered it a bunch of times. They both wrote letters to the judge that weren't allowed to be put in. Why is he fighting so hard to get them when they want nothing to do with them? I couldn't answer that. I'm just as confused. Is there a reason they are scared to let mom into the room? They're not scared to let mom into the room. They're scared to open the door for any reason. My sister also has to follow every order of the court, and the order of the court is for her to do everything in her power to get the kids there. So if they come out of the room and they're just hanging out in the house, it's not like she can be like, do you want to go? They say no, and she's like, okay, live your life. She has to continuously try to get them in the car, get them to go. Like, this idea that they can just come out and be in the living room and then it's just completely fine, it's just not the case. She's doing everything in her power to get them out as well. But she's not going to do stuff that... This right now situation is not good for their mental health and things like that. She's not going to do things that are actually dangerous for their physical health as well. That just seems inappropriate. Do they have a bathroom nearby? Yes. Ty cut a hole through his wall into the bathroom. Sorry, I'm going to grab some tissues. If you guys were on the live, you'll see I feel like I'm getting sick since last night, so I'm going to grab some of those. Why does he want custody now? He's been trying to get custody the whole time. So I don't really know. What about other open essay cases if he's found guilty? Yeah, if he's ever found guilty of anything, that helps a ton. But I don't know how that works. I don't know if it's like they need more evidence. I don't know if it's like because they... I don't know. Is there anything we can do other than be on here for them to help the mother get through this? The main thing that helps is just supporting it, sharing the kid's story, and keeping the drama and speculation out of it. Like, that's the biggest thing, is people starting rumors or saying what they think it is, or it's like they start to go into conspiracy mode. And the issue is, this is already crazy enough by itself. We don't need it to also be a conspiracy on top of it. We just need to listen to Ty, listen to Bryn, listen to what they say, because that's what I'm going off of. That's what I believe. And that's all I'm going to speak on, because that's what's happening. So rumor was the judge told her not to feed them. Yes. We've confirmed from her attorneys that we're allowed to say that. Yes, that's in even the orders that the judge wrote down, is that because she's feeding them, she is enabling them. Because she's feeding them and doing their laundry, she's enabling them. So it's basically, I can't remember how it's worded. Again, I don't want to put words in their mouth, but it's something like, to the extent of, it's basically a barricade for show or something, because she could just not give them food or something like that. But again, Ty's being super smart, planned this out, and brought in like a month's worth of food. He didn't show that on live, but he's FaceTimed me directly and showed me, like, they have a ton of food. A ton of food. Do you feel with all the traction gained on social media, progress is being made? I honestly, this is 100% my opinion, not fact. I feel like it's made a positive difference because now there's a whole bunch of people supporting Ty and giving him this feeling that he has an army behind him, supporting him and paying attention. He was scared before, and he told me this for years, that if he gets taken over there, he just disappears and no one ever sees him. And he feels that now with all these people watching, that if he's gone, people are going to look for him. And obviously we would always have looked for him, and we told him, like, you're not going to disappear, right? We've tried to ease those concerns, but I wasn't there. I haven't even deeply asked Ty the details of what's happened. A lot of the details, like the nitty gritty, like what happened, I heard in his letter to the judge. I just feel it's inappropriate for me as his uncle to sit him down and be like, tell me the details of exactly what your dad did, right? I know the basics of it. I've read the basic reports. I've heard the story of him and Brinley and their stepmom and everything like that. Like, it's just not my role as the uncle. And if that makes people say, well, then let's not listen to him at all, then that's fine. You don't need to. But my role is just to try to make sure they're doing okay. They're doing good. They're able to get their minds off it a little bit. And be kids, because as much as this is like a story that you guys are following and paying attention to, and it's like something that's happening on a screen, this is their real life. And these are my real niece and nephew. These are people that I care about deeply. So that's my goal, is just, if I see it wearing on them, that's when I'm trying to step in. And you guys don't see a lot of the times when he's on stream and I'm texting him off the stream, when he's on his computer, that's us writing and me being like, man, if you need to take a break, if you need to do this, like, we're all trying. Has anyone heard from Dad since the custody has been announced? We haven't. I say we, my sister. I don't think's heard from him directly in a while. I think it's all through attorneys back and forth. I'm really not sure. Does Dad try to call and text the kids? My sister bought them a phone because they were scared that if they texted him off their phones that he was somehow going to be able to get into their stuff or whatever. So she went and got them completely new phones just directly for them to contact him with it. And that's it. And they have written him and called him a bunch of times and he's never written back. But the court, I think, if I remember correctly, this could be wrong, so take this one with a grain of salt. I think the court said that that was understandable, that he didn't, so I don't know. Sorry, and I know I'm not answering it all like professional news anchor or whatever person. I didn't expect this to become a thing I need to do in my life. I'm a musician and a photographer and not a social media expert. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. How's your sister? My sister's destroyed. Completely and utterly destroyed. She cried herself to sleep last night. Like how I told everyone, like, reach out to me and Grandma and we'll try to filter the things up to her. Like, honestly, I haven't been able to filter anything up to her. Like, she is destroyed. The courts took away her custody. Like, she doesn't have custody. That is, I can't even imagine what that's like. So she's, as much as I've seen her, how bad this has affected her, how bad this has destroyed her health and everything, and her just try, like financially and health-wise and mental health-wise. Like, I've seen this battle. Last night is the worst I've seen it by far. Yeah, by far, not even close. So that's the hard part, is people be like, is this hard for you? You need to take care of yourself. Like, yes, this is crazy hard for me. I have my own, it's very difficult, especially considering I've been so close to these kids for so long. It's super hard for me, but the people around me, like Ty and Bryn and my sister, have it worse than me times 1,000. So it feels silly even mentioning my own issue with it. That will come later. I can talk to some therapist or something about that in the future. On what grounds did she lose custody? I think it's she was in contempt, and they used the contempt to flip the custody. I think is how it works. Again, I'm not an attorney. I don't know the like legal precedents for how that happens or whatever. Can she press charges against the dad with a different magistrate or different DA? I have no clue. Her attorneys are really good. So I assume if that was possible, that would be something that they would have brought up or have been working on. But I don't know. How can they give him custody but not allow the kids to be there overnight? That's a great question. I don't get it, especially because Ty himself has said he doesn't trust his uncle. Well, his uncles over there. I knew he had more trust for one of them, but then he gave him a note about everything that was going on and everything that happened, and his uncle just never said anything to him about it. Basically begging him for help. So I don't know. I don't know how that works. How do they deny therapy to these kids and then only approve one that dad agrees with? Again, a really good question. I know for a fact they got the therapist taken away. I know for a fact the kids have a really, really, really hard time with that. They've both even asked, like they talk to their therapist, even to me, that he wants to see, I guess I shouldn't say their names, but they want to see those specific therapists, but those ones got taken away. I don't know how the legal process works of who picks therapists. I thought therapists were just like any other medical professional that you could just take your kid to them. I don't know how that works. Can we raise the funds to hire her a tougher attorney? For sure. Legal fees and everything is what they need help with. People have asked me, like, what can I get for you? What can I do? Nothing. Zero. I don't need anything. I'm good. If you want to get something for anyone, get something for the kids or get stuff for her to help fight like her legal fees, because I don't even know how they're doing it. Have they considered setting up virtual therapists for the kids? Yes, they can't. They can't go to any therapist or therapist-esque type person at all that's not approved by the, I believe, reunification therapist and the guardian ad litem, if I remember correctly. Where do we donate for legal fees? She has a GoFundMe, a Cash App, and a Venmo, all on the links on her page. I should realistically add a link to her stuff through my stuff. So I will do that after this. And yes, but if you go to her page or any of his pages, the link should be there. I'm sorry, I need a drink. My throat from singing last night with Ty, I was just trying to keep their mind off it, and I overdid it, and my throat hurt super bad. Can they not push to move it to another district to try to overturn it? That's the issue, is it already was moved. Their whole divorce was done up in a different district. Right before this stuff got all crazy is when it switched to the district down here, and then it just got so much worse. Yeah, you missed the singing. We were singing for hours and hours and hours. I even got Ty to sing for an hour at one point. See, why is the Matisse not? I don't know who the Matisse is. Have they filed an imminent danger motion? I assume so. I knew that they've had a protective order in the past, a TRO. I don't know if that's different. I promise from the legal side of things, her attorneys are very good and have been doing everything in their power, as well as we've been getting reached out to by everybody. So I know that people want to jump in and be like, oh, well, have you tried this simple thing? I don't think it's a simple answer because they've tried everything. But I'm not enough of an expert in that. So if you know an attorney, someone who's willing to look at this and help out, reach out to the links. I will put their links in mine once I am done with this. But we can speculate. Me, my sister, Ty, anybody, my mom, we can speculate all day about what might work, but we don't have the legal expertise to know what would. So it's kind of it's wasting time that could be spent on something that could work. So if you actually have the resources to be able to help, please get us in contact with those people or have those people contact us directly, which might be hard because we're getting so many messages, but I can tell you that very clear messages, video messages, things like that do so much better and get to us so much easier than uh, a message that's like hi on TikTok. It's not an exaggeration. I got 1 to 2,000 messages just since late last night. That's what I spent the first 4 hours of my day this morning doing, was responding to people. Let's see. Is it true that the church is paying for the father's attorneys and legal fees? Not that I know of at all. That's a big misconception that keeps going around. So his family's LDS. So was my family growing up. So was all my neighbors' families growing up. I'm currently not, but I'm not against it. And I grew up with a lot of those values, I guess you could say. So it's like, if you want to go off of, again, speculations and potentials and this and that, maybe, but we haven't seen anything that's like concrete that we know there's anything like that. That's the stuff where it's getting into conspiracy, and there's no point to entertain it because this stuff is already crazy enough. That's for people who have their expertise in being a investigative journalist or whatever. Those type of people are going to be the ones able to uncover that. We can speculate all day, but no, there's been no direct evidence that we've seen. I think that the fact that his family is LDS is coincidence, and not even a very small coincidence, because everyone here basically is LDS. Literally everybody. It's like in Utah County, it is, you throw a rock in any direction and you're going to land it on somebody's front lawn who's LDS. Like, everybody is that here. So from outside in, you're like, oh, maybe it's that because that's who they are. No, it's everybody here. So I don't think that's related in any way. What's keeping the police from forcibly removing the kids? We don't know. They are 100% in their right to do that. Again, I don't agree with it morally or ethically. I don't agree with it in the sense of, I think the law should change. I don't think they should legally be allowed to do that. But as it stands, as of today, yes, they can 100% legally come in and get the kids. Nancy Grace is a friend of our family's. May I have your position? Yes. This is Ty's story. Ty has told me that he wants to get his story out to as many people as possible, but to keep it about the facts and about what he's actually said. So that's literally all I'm trying to do. That's it. I'm not going to go on into other stuff that I don't know. If you know Ty and how his brain works, a lot, very clear and straight to the point and fact-based, that's a lot how I am too. I'm not going to get into the drama of it all. Has Stella reached out to the governor? I think so. I don't know if she has directly, but we know hundreds of people have on her behalf. I don't know if this is accurate or fact or not, but there were so many calls. People couldn't even get through to I think the Salem PD, the sheriff's office, the judge's office, the governor, the district attorney, something like that. Like, people couldn't even get through anymore. So I don't know if it's like the phone lines were so bogged down or they shut them off or whatever, but people have been contacting like crazy. From every 3-letter agency to every person that might have any bit of power in Utah, we've had someone that's involved with someone's family reaching out saying they can help. The issue is we don't know how to vet those. When you're getting thousands and thousands of comments, we don't know how to know which ones are legit and which ones aren't legit. Like, you have to put yourself in the shoes of understanding, like, my phone isn't even working the same that it normally works because of how many messages there is. So, like, I physically can't spend the time to sit and vet each one. So that's why we're trying to say, if you guys have those resources, yes, please reach out, please talk to people. And then if we're not responding, think of I'm not meaning to put the work on you guys to get in touch with us. Like, that's not my goal. It's becoming almost impossible to go through them. I have info for you. I'm a protect lawyer and advocate. I need to get info to you. Yes, please. You can reach out to me here. I will get through them eventually, but it's the same thing I was saying before. It's very hard to vet through all of these. I don't know how else to make, like, okay, I could make people have said make a WhatsApp or something like that. I could do something like that, but then I feel like it's going to get the same amount of messages as everything else. So I don't know what to recommend. I could think like, oh, maybe do a TikTok video to me, but again, maybe then that will just get crazy. I don't know. I'm putting frequently asked questions together for you guys. Yeah, for sure. Email it. I don't have any sort of like email set up for me to be accessed to, because I didn't even know I knew my mom was going to get super involved and everything like that. I don't like, I just make music and take photos and teach people to make music and take photos. And that's it. So I didn't expect that I would be any help to any of this at all. So I'm only trying to help in the sense of I'm trying to get the kids out of the room. I'm trying to keep everything from getting all speculation and conspiracy and crazy. And I'm trying to help the kids' mental state out a little bit. Like, they need to be able to relax. They've answered so many questions. Like, it's just like that's priority one. I got to get them to relax a little bit. They're never going to be able to make a appropriate decision unless they can just like breathe a little bit and relax a little bit. No one's going to get them out of the room by like trying to force it out of them unless they literally kick in the door and do that. The only way is to try to like get them to relax, get them to breathe. And this is just my opinion. This is just, I could be 100% wrong. I'm not a child therapist. I'm not a clinical psychologist or anything like that. This is just me knowing them. I feel like the more it's trying to be forced, the more they're pulling back against it. And so if they can just breathe and relax and be comfortable for a little bit, maybe then we can get that process to start happening. Isn't the dad homeless? No, he lives at his parents' house, I believe. I haven't seen that personally with my own two eyes, but that's what I've heard from people, that he lives with his parents in their basement. When did the kids start barricading? December 8th, I think. I'm really not good with dates. I think December 8th. But it was like a barricade, but they would come out sometimes to, hang out or to get some food or go to the bathroom or shower. And then it just like became it's like as they more and more tried to like get the kids to be forced out and kept trying to do it sneakier and sneakier, eventually the kids were just like, then we're not doing any of it. And that's what I mean. It's like a bad metaphor, right? It's like, if I'm pulling on you, you're probably going to pull back. It just feels like that's what's happening. So I feel like if they can just relax and calm down a little bit, like that weekend that the judge had to decide what he was going to do, Ty knew that. Again, the internet's crazy. They were able to put everything out there. Ty knew that it was paused over the weekend. And this should prove it to everybody right here. When he thought the threat of the police taking him out of the room was gone, even for a moment, he immediately left the room. He went and hung out with his cousins. He went and tried to be a normal kid again. He lived his life again. Literally the instant he was like, oh, it's paused, he doesn't want to be in that room. He only wants to be in that room because the ulterior is worse in his brain. So it's like, that should be like, to me, that's like such a massive, like, okay, how is that not the biggest proof to everyone? But again, I'm not an attorney. I don't understand how it is, but like literally the instant he was like, oh, it's paused, he left. And so did Bryn. And they didn't like stay together the whole time and he was controlling what she went and did all of her stuff that she wanted to do. He went and did his stuff. They just became kids again. And like, that's how it should be. And to me, that's like just the most overwhelming evidence of proof that like, they're not barricaded in there because they're just like being whatever about it, or they just don't want to listen to that. No, it's because they're terrified. And the second that they aren't terrified that they're going to be taken from that house, and I can't say the word that they use, like when you take someone, the second that threat is gone, they go back to being kids. Ty misses school. He tells me about it nonstop. Do you know how much he loved that he was the top in debate when he was in the youngest grade you could be in debate? Like, it was the most I've ever seen him proud of himself. He loved that he was in college classes. He had a college that he already had picked out that he wanted to go through to be a kinesiologist. Like, I hated school. Ty wasn't like me. I hated school. I left it. I didn't want to be there. Ty is a good kid. Like, a very good kid. He's acting 100% out of fear that I believe, this is my opinion, my belief is true from what I've heard from him. What's that? A kinesiologist. It's they study the movement of the body to help athletes with their athletic performance or sports or something. It's kind of like a physical therapist. Yeah, it's fear-based out of what I believe is a legit fear. Did I see that happen to him? No. So if people are like, I believe Ty. I've seen it. I've seen the physical manifestations in both Ty and Brindley that I don't think you can fake or would have a reason to fake. Or I've heard the words come out of Brindley's mouth that shook me to my core and made me physically ill. That you can't tell a kid. It's a kid describing stuff that is very graphic in a way that only a kid would describe it, in a way that no one would. Even thinking about it is making me like not feel good, to be honest with you. It's not good. Can we help Ty get his new account, Flipper 2.3? Yes, please go to all of his links and get his accounts up to as much as possible. That's what he wants. Is Ty's statement to the court public? No, he was never allowed to put it in. I mean, it's public in the sense of he said it on TikTok. I don't know if he ever posted it. But it's hard to listen to. It's very raw and real. The other morning she wound up and said, "I'm alive. Thank God. I believe what she said." Yeah. Again, it's heartbreaking. Like, I believe Ty and Bryn, their actions are not fake, they're real. Okay, yes, I agree. I heard words she said the other day that brought me to tears. Each time I think about it, I cry. Yeah, trust me, this is hard. Like, I want to make it clear out there. This is what people don't understand is like, yes, I lived with them. I knew them. You have to think, he was married at the time that these allegations came out. When his ex-wife when his wife at the time found out about the allegations, she left. From her words was his reaction to them were appalling or something like that. I didn't know. I was a 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old kid at, is she okay? Yeah. Sorry. Oh, okay, she threw her bottle over the thing. But sorry, I was a 10, 11, 12-year-old, 13-year-old kid. I didn't know. I had literally no idea. So it's like, I never viewed them as that way. I haven't seen him in 10 plus years. I think I saw him actually one time at a soccer game that Ty had, and he was just across the field a ways. I just saw him. Like, last time I had a conversation with him was when my sister was getting all of her final stuff out of his house, and we had a completely normal conversation about how his DJ gear and like what stuff, like, so I'm not going to speculate on like, oh, blah, 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 or bash people, because that's not my place. That's not what I've experienced. I'm just saying I believe the kids. Has that forced me to rewrite, like, maybe not rewrite, but like put it all into a new lens and be like, oh, okay, yeah, but I believe them. That's what it is. Did he ever, okay, let's see, your cheeks are turning red. No, so I actually talked about this yesterday. I have a skin issue called like biliary polaris, or I don't know. It's some skin issue. Most people get it on their arms up here. I just was unfortunate and got it on my face, so I'm just stuck with it. I think we should always believe the kids until proving otherwise. Yes, especially these kids. If you knew these kids, it's impossible for you to know them like that. I know, I get it, but if you knew these kids, like, you would believe them. Let's see. In your opinion, does he really want the kids, or is it just because he can? I could speculate. I could give my opinion that it doesn't make sense to me at all, especially because, like, so I have children. If my ex convinced my kid that I'm the worst person in the entire world and they were terrified to be near me, and the kid said, I made a compromise that we can talk on the phone, I would take that in a second. If the kid said, I made a compromise that I'll go over during daytime visits, I would take that in 1 second. Any communication, any talking, seeing them, anything, I would be jumping on it immediately. If they got a phone that they could text directly with me, that's literally all I would be doing. So I don't understand the actions by the other side, but I'm also not in their group. I'm not in their legal representation. I don't know what they're being told. I don't know why he might want them when it seems like he doesn't. I don't know. I just know my reaction, no matter what someone's telling me, would be much different, because if I had a chance to see them when I hadn't seen them in 5 years, I would do literally anything to make that be the case. So, yeah. Yeah, see, people can go off like, I think that he's this, I think that he's that, I think that he's that. You guys are all free to have your opinions, but just be cognizant that it doesn't help the situation to have hearsay or speculation. Like, it's fine to have your opinions and it's fine to have all of that. I have nothing like intrinsically against that, in the sense of we all have our right of free speech and everything, but the case is crazy enough as it is. We need to just focus on the kid's story and what's going on, because that is the truth. That's what's happening. That's their real life. And even though it seems like it's like, oh, I'm just going to spend 5 seconds to comment this one thing, well, that 5 seconds could be spent on just like something that maybe could help. Maybe sharing it, talking to someone about it. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not an expert in this. I personally am like against speculation and rumor spreading, because I feel like it only hurts the case, because now everyone's also having to try to unwrap all these rumors instead of like get to the point of what's going on. What about Ty saying his dad wanted him? Yes, that's what I've been told a lot by Ty. A lot of times. I couldn't say how many, but it's well over 20 times that I've been told that. Since they had findings that was true by DCFS, why isn't he punished for his actions? As far as I'm aware, there's an open criminal investigation against him still. The DA decided not to pursue it right now, and I don't know why. I'm not the DA. I'm not the state. Maybe it's like, I don't know how the statistics of this stuff. Maybe if people are this way, they usually will always get caught again, and they need more evidence so the state doesn't have to pay the money. Or maybe it's like some double jeopardy thing that if he doesn't get in trouble, then he can't in the future. I don't know. Those are all speculations. So again, let's not even entertain them. I don't know. I know that you can get the actual DCFS reports. A lot of you guys have been doing it somehow. I don't know how that works. You can get the actual reports yourself, read them yourself, that they were substantiated, and you can see that he wasn't criminally charged as of yet. So, charged, but I guess not. It's an open case. I don't know how that works. I don't know the terminology, but you can see that it's there, and you guys are now in the same spot I'm in. We don't know. What happens after the 90 days? Then what? Then he has custody. Then Jessie has to try to fight her case to get visitation time and everything back, as far as I'm aware. Please, mods, like, help out. Can they ask a higher court to oversee the case? That's what I think they've been trying to do. I think their attorneys have tried. I think we've had a lot of people reaching out trying to try. So I'm not sure. Sorry, my throat is driving me crazy from yesterday. I'm not used to singing for that long. What is his dad's brother's name? We're not going to say any names. Ty has said all the names when he was in a very emotional state, a very scared state where he felt like it was in his best interest. Because I don't know his family's involvement in the case, I don't want to throw people under the bus, disparage people. I don't know what their opinion is on it. I literally don't know. I'm not his brothers. For all I know, they're keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. They were convinced it's not true. They don't believe the kids. They do believe the kids, but they don't know what else to do. I could speculate for hours, but it doesn't help. I can see how much you love them. I hope you're doing okay. I can imagine. I'm just getting through it. You know, we're all having a super hard time, but I didn't expect this to turn into, I mean, it's not my job, but everyone luckily in my life is understanding that this is what I'm spending my time doing, but this isn't what I expected it to be. This all happened a week ago. So it's just me doing my best to do what Ty asked me to do, to try to help keep things about the facts and to try to help get their mind off of it. Does he have anything? Oh, sorry, that passed up. I missed it. Ty's such an amazing kid. It breaks everyone's heart that this is going on. Yeah, I agree. Sorry. I'm also not feeling the best when it comes to... Let me grab some hand sanitizer. When it comes to... I feel like I might be getting sick. I just got over COVID, so I don't know if it can, like, come back or if something else, or I don't know. Does he have anything against her? Why wouldn't she have 50-50? I think because he's never gone through the court process and criminally charged with anything, and she has been, I don't know if it's called charged, but she has been found in contempt. So from just a paper scale, she's done something that he has. I don't know. I really, again, speculation. Please, if you take anything from this, that's what I'm trying to get across, is like, we only know what we know. We only have the expertise in the stuff that we know. We're just believing the kids. The kids have disclosed. The kids have said what happened, and they haven't changed their story, and they've said it over and over and over again, and they've had physical manifestations of it that I truly just in my soul don't believe can be just made up. So that's why I'm believing them. That's why I'm speaking like this. My sister hasn't been able to tell me most of the details throughout this whole 5 years. I've gotten mad at her, and I've literally called her and kind of like freaked out at her and been like, tell me and tell the kids what is going on. But she can't. She has followed every single rule that has been placed before her this entire time. That's just who she is. If you knew my sister, that's that. She doesn't, you can't get her to do anything else. She follows the rules. She follows what she's supposed to do. And so even me being this close, probably her closest sibling to her, talk to her every day, sometimes hours a day for years, I only know what I've been like allowed to know / what the kids have told me. And so yeah, I know a lot. I know a lot of the details. I know probably more than everybody except her and her attorneys. But I also don't have the expertise to fully understand all of it. I don't know. So there's so much of it that's speculation that I can only speak on the facts. That's it. It's not fair to those kids. I agree. I don't see how any court system can look at what's going on and be like, this is working. This is what works for these kids. Like, I don't see it, but yeah. Someone saying, please let them know you have bad mods. if a bunch of people agree with that, I can go through and drop all the mods. Most of these people I don't know personally. They just seemed like people who are willing to help and helping out a lot. I really don't know. Again, I got so many messages. I know this person. Maybe I'll add them as a mod. Well, I don't know them personally, but they've been a mod who's been helpful in other chats, so they can become a mod. At what age in Utah do they have the right to live where they want to? They don't. That changed a few years ago. Now it's after 14, you have more of a say, but you never have the choice. And especially during custody battles, they definitely don't listen to you. They will listen to your guardian ad litem, who is supposed to be someone that acts in your best interest as if you were able to make adult, mature decisions. But the kids do not trust their guardian ad litem for very good reason, from what I've heard. Are they doing virtual school or just not going? They're transitioning over to virtual school. Ty's stuck in between some like mini semesters or something like that, so the school told him he can't change over just yet. He's been in contact with his teachers to try to get as much of the work as possible, and Brindley has started school again from home, I believe. We are doing our best here, guys, but it looks like Ty needs us right now. That's perfectly fine. If Ty needs you, go on and jump over there. Can you check on his and see what's going on? Is everything good? Okay. Oh, whoa, I got the how'd I do that? I got the comments to show up super big. Perfect. Okay. The whole page is now comments. I don't know how I did that, but this is way easier to read. Can his school look into Odyssey-ware for some of his courses? I don't know what that is, possibly. Can you hand me my chapstick too? I think like me getting sick, it's like my throat, my lips, everything. Ty is good, he's just playing video games. Okay, perfect. That makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I was able to get through to him. Like, hey, you just need to calm down. That's my goal. You need to calm down. It's all too much. Too much for a kid your age. You just gotta breathe. Can someone try to pin a comment? Because I want to see if in this comment mode, if it shows up. Perfect. This is way better. My whole screen is comments. Okay. Perfect. Sorry to spend this question. What does a guardian ad litem mean? It's an attorney that's court appointed for the children that's supposed to be unbiased against each side. So my sister can't hire an attorney for the kids because that would be biased according to the court. So the court appoints one called the guardian ad litem. It's an attorney for the children, but again, I don't know the legal, I don't know how all this stuff works, but from what I've heard from people, he's done stuff that he's not supposed to be able to do, and the kids do not trust him, and the kids refuse to talk to him, and they won't change him out for a new one. You said, wait, what was this? You said there was bad things being said, and there hasn't. There's only been truth. I don't know if that's to me or that was commenting to someone else. Sorry. I was told you need a mod. I can try this person. I requested box. I literally don't know what that means. I'm really, if that means coming into the chat, I'm really, really scared to do that. Because I don't know what anyone else can say, and I don't want to do anything that could hurt any of this. It's Ty with the bad mods. Okay. If you know who they are, possibly, then maybe let me know. I can try to let him know. I don't know. Okay. Someone wanted to clear. I don't know. How do I see this? I can try to let someone clarify the mod issue. Please, like, don't say anything speculative. Don't say anything crazy. I'll let you in for a second. I'm, like, literally begging you. Okay, can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes, I can. She was saying that Ty's mods are blocking people that sent gifts and money.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was confused as well, but that's what she said.
Okay.
I don't know what mods it is, but they're blocking people that are helping them. It sounds
Okay.
like.
Okay. I
That's all.
will have someone reach out to him and let him know.
Okay,
And
because I don't know what he added or not, but he's the only one that can add them, I believe.
he's the only one that can add them. But again, we've gotten so many requests. It's hard to know who's who. So yeah, I will have someone let him know. And
Okay.
I don't know how to get to the bottom of it, but maybe he just has to get everyone out.
Well, he
And
may just have to take them all out and remodel them.
okay.
All right, that's all.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. I don't know how do you do this? Do I click? Okay. Perfect. Um, they said that Ty's mods are blocking people that are trying to give him gifts and help him. So I don't know who it is, but he might need to go in and delete all of his mods and just slowly add in people until he can figure out which one. Because it seems like people are trying to block people who are. And so then the other sucky part is he might have to go into his live and unblock people. But I don't know how all that works. I don't know how any of that works. Um, okay. It shows what mods are blocking. Yeah, we don't know enough about all this stuff. Um, mods can unblock people. Are you a mod in his chat?
Yeah.
So maybe you can go and check the block list and
How do I find that?
unblock people and start blocking new people. I don't know. I think you hit the share button and then mod settings, I think, and then you can kind of go in, but then he needs to himself, if he's willing to, unmod people. I don't.
I mean, all of these mods are the ones that have, I think there's like two that I haven't seen before, but all the other
Then
ones have been ones that have been
then let him
removed.
know those too. And if he still has issues, then we know it's someone else, and if we can find out who it is, we'll unmod him everywhere. Like, I also don't know if this is also hard because it's like who's saying it, where's it coming from? I don't know. Um, okay, sorry, I'm back. Okay, if you go into mod settings, you can also see what mod was blocking. Someone said, one of the people that I've seen on mine that has helped a lot. Um,
I don't know if I'm allowed to see that.
oh, maybe he only can. Um,
There's only one person muted.
but there's blocked